past few months, I've made many attempts to predict the outcome of the League One 2021-2022 campaign. But of course, this time around, I've actually used the fantastic site that is, of course, World Football with their table calculator and predicted the outcome of each and every one of the remaining games this season. So what about my results? Who's going up to, of course, the Championship? And who's going to go down to League Two? We're going to take an old look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're going to take a look at my final League One, League Two bullshit. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're going to take a look at my final table for League One in the 2021-2022 campaign. Who's going up to the Championship and who is going to go down to League Two? We'll take a look at it, all of it, in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VRPs, they are the patrons, guys. Thank you very much, of course, behind the scenes. You know who you are, of course, but will Wigan, will it be Rotherham, will it be MK Dons, or will it be Plymouth coming out of nowhere, get themselves promoted automatically? We'll take a look at it, all of it, in a minute, of course. So, big shout out once again to the player, to the patrons and all that kind of jazz. But anyway, let's jump at the deep end, of course, and have a look what I'm talking about. So, of course, here we are, of course, with my table. I've done all the calculations, I've done all the results, and of course, this is going to be the results for what I think will happen for the rest of the campaign. And if you've seen how I do these before, we like to start in the middle, and of course, work our way down, and then, of course, do the top half of the table, because I'm a bit of a tease like that. So, anyway, let's get into it, of course, and who do I think will end up being middle of the pack, which, of course, will be 13th spot, according to my eyes. So, let's get into it. So, here we go. So, be sure to get your own picks in there. Let me know who you think will go up, who you think will go down, maybe even list your whole table, of course, to show the world. So into 13th spot is pretty much as you are, really. It's Cambridge, of course. Now, we are recording this on the 7th of April, ahead of the weekend's action. So Cambridge, 13th spot for them, 60 points on the board for them, picking up a further 9, of course, of the remaining 5 or 6 games. So that's not too bad, 9 points, but again, doesn't really show you just how much movement or any points you're going to need to make progress up the table. So Cambridge are in that sort of kind of spot where they can't really make much movement up. They could probably get up a couple of spots or could go down a couple of spots, but realistically they're going to stay pretty much as you were. So Cambridge no movement there. 14th spot will be Accrington standing again, no major movement, and again picking up 3 wins. It looks like 9 points over the course of the remaining part of the season. That's 5 games left, I believe, in them. So 15 points available, 9 picked up there. That's not too shabby for Accrington. That's more than half. So they are making traction, but they're coming into this actually as of recording without a win in 5. So pretty wobbly for them. Cambridge, of course, a couple of wins in the last 3 games, not too bad for them, but actually need to turn it around as well if they're going to make progression up that table. But again, realistically, there's not much to fight for them these days. If they are to make a push as of right now, they are 21 points. Of course, that's, there is on that moment I think 15 points available. So of course their season is pretty much over. It's a 15th spot. We have Charlton Athletic again, no major movement. They are 15th as we're recording, so again no major movement. They're just going to pick up 6 points out of the remaining 5 matches, so not great. That's less than half for them. They do come into this on just 1 defeat past 5 for them. So good bit of form, a strong end to the campaign, despite a really with Atkins at start, not very good. Johnny Jackson came in and they did a bit of a resurgence, but then they had a sort of a middle third there of a train wreck of a season, so not much going on for them. And of course they've ended strongly, but again it's something to look forward to next season for Charlton. But no major movement there. Into 60 spot with Shrewsbury. They're currently finding themselves in Shrewsbury. Again, it's pretty much as you are, really. 52 points for them. That'll be a further 4 points gained from the last 5 games of the season. Again, they have ended their campaign pretty strong with just 1 defeat past 4 for them. But again, picking up just a further 4 points, which of course will get them away from the drop zone or any fears from that. Into 17th, it is Lincoln City, of course, currently find themselves in 18th. So they'll make traction on just the 1 spot, and a season that was billed to be a potential playoff counters, of course. Start the season, a lot of troubles off the field with the manager, and hopefully he's doing okay. I've not really tracked the progress of it, so hopefully he's doing all right. And of course, maybe next season they can turn it around. Of course, they've been regulars at the top of the campaign, top of the season for the past few years, but this seemed to be one of the a rough one for them. So hopefully next time around they can be back to competing for the playoffs. But this time around it's more steady Eddie sort of stuff. So they finish in 17th with 52 points. In the corner of my eyes, that's a further 6 points on the board. So out of the remaining 5 games. Into 18th we have Burton Abbey, and of course they're 17th at the moment. Of course played 40 games, so they do have a game in hand on the rest of them. Just 1 win and 6 over Burton right now. They'll pick up no more points. So of course, safe as houses, but not really making movement for them. So Burton Albion under Hasselbank again. Not really. They were up and down this season. Not really challenging. Not really competing for relegation. But of course, ending the season on a damp squib with no wins in a long time. Into 19th spot, I have Gillingham doing the great escape. Goodness gracious me, they currently find themselves in the drop zone and 21st spot with, of course, Neil Harris at the helm. Just one win, the last 4 games for them heading into this, but they're, of course, picking up a further 6, just 6 points enough for them to get out of it, which will be 43 points, and again, that will see them be 19th. That's a little bit of a cushion as well to see them leapfrog above them. Into 20th, I've done another great escape. It's Morecambe. They're going to stick around again in this division, and again, with Matey Boy at the helm, of course. He returned as manager, and of course, after a shit time at Bradford, he decided to come back with his tail between his legs and save the season. So Morecambe, I do see him picking up a further 4 points, which will be enough, according to my eyes. Back-to-back wins for them heading into this game, or this weekend's action as well. So Morecambe, Derek Adams, of course, his boys will be just over the line. Of course, going down there will be Fleetwood, which will be a bit of a shocker, really. Despite over the few years that they've been in this division, they've been always in the top half of the table for the most part. I remember when Uwe Rosler was there. I remember when Barton was there, and of course, since then, it's kind of gone a bit dramatically down here. So they'll go down. Fleetwood down to League 2, 38 points. They start the campaign. They'll pick up just the 1 point, which will not be good enough as they exit the campaign. They do have a game in hand, though, of course, over the likes of Fleetwood, Morecambe, and Lincoln, but it's not going to be good enough. They're going to go down. Joining them will be Doncaster Rovers. Of course, they do come into this in 23rd spot with 30 points on the board without a win in the last 6 games. Of course, they'll pick up 9 points here. Of course, big haul, but not enough. Not enough for Doncaster. They're going to go down, of course, to League 2. And maybe rebuild next season, of course. Joining them, of course, and Fleetwood will be Wimbledon. They're going to go down with 38 points. I do see them picking up 4 points between now and the end of the season, but 4 points is, of course, not good enough. As you can see, it's 4 points separate 20th of Morecambe and, of course, Wimbledon in 23rd. So it is very, very fine margins. You need to pick up results. You need to pick up wins. But right now, nobody seems to want to win a game in the bottom 3 of this table. And, of course, wrapping up with Crew, have had a bit of a train wreck season, haven't they? And they've lost a lot of their squad over the past couple of seasons, and of course they need to rebuild next season. So unfortunately, Crew go down. Hopefully they keep their manager. Of course, they could be bouncing back at the next time of asking. You never know. Into the top end we go then. Take a look at 12th spot. It'll be Cheltenham. Of course, they are currently find themselves in 12th spot. There is a gap between 11 and 12, so that was understandable that they'll be there. They're going to pick up a further 9 points again over the course of those 5 games, which is a good haul, but again, not good enough. They'll be up to 60 points. Level of points with Cambridge and Accrington Stanley, but basically no major movement in that eyes. Next, of course, we have 11th spot. I have Bolton Wonders. I'd love to see them make it back to whatever promotions, but of course, no bueno. Again, picking up a further 9 points. That's 3 of the last 5. Of course, they're coming into this unbeaten in the last 3 games, just 1 defeat past 6. 60 points on the board, so picking up 3 more wins in the last 5 games. It's good, but it's not good enough in the end. Into a 10th is Pompey with 72 points. It's not going to be good enough. They've actually picked up 12 points in the last 6 games, 7 games even. They've got a bit of a game in hand on the likes of Bolton. They've got 2 games on Bolton and Ipswich, but no major movements. They're going to finish in 10th, which is as they are really. And again, the Cowley boys, will they consider that a success? The guys, the backing at Fratton Park, or will they have to clean house? This has been very, very tight this season over in League One. So unfortunately, Pompey not good enough to make the playoffs. Into 9th, it'll be Ipswich, as you were, of course, picking up 10 points out of the remaining 5 games. Of course, that's not too shabby as well. That's 4 wins and a draw, according to my mathematics. Over the 5 games, that's just 1 defeat. It looks like but it's not going to be good enough. Again, the gap at the moment between Ipswich and Wickham in 6th is 12. Well, we're looking at 8 points at the moment. So they have to make up that ground with, of course, the guys above them not making many more wins. So unfortunately, Ipswich again, change of manager. Cook was at the start of the helm, didn't really get going. McKenna's done okay without any tweaks, of course, personnel-wise, player-wise. So maybe next season, the likes of Ipswich and Portsmouth and maybe even Bolton can compete for the playoffs, if not more than that next time around. Into 8th spot, we have Sunderland. I have Sunderland missing out again. This will, of course, be an absolute travesty for Alex Neil, of course, and will he actually survive the summer? Of course, it didn't get much build up. The 80 points for them. That's 10 points from now. Picking up a further. Yeah, that's just a couple of dropped matches on that one. That's 3 wins and a draw. They currently find themselves in 7th with 70 points, 2 points adrift of Wickham with a game in hand, of course, but it's not going to be good enough. The teams above them are going to get the results, and of course, I think maybe they're playing up against teams that are also competing. I think they've got Oxford in there. They might even have a Rotherham in there. I don't know. They've got some real zingers, I'm sure, which of course will be denting their hopes as well. Into 7th spot, I have Oxford. Unfortunately, I was hoping that they would make it. Carl Robinson's always been there, forever the bridesmaid, never the bride. Of course, he is one of the managers in League One that I would look at as a potential replacement for, of course, Tony Mowbray, if that was to be the case. Of course, he's always, again, he's got a bit of a weird or a dubious sort of connections, of course, networking with his old Stevie Keane boys and all that kind of stuff, his agents or whatever. It's just a bit fishy, but he gets results, he gets them up there, and but terrible bit of form heading into this game, back-to-back defeats for them. Of course, losing the likes of Morecambe, and that's the sort of games you need to win at this stage, but unfortunately Morecambe will dip out, according to me. Into 6th spot, we have Bolton Wonders. They're going to do it. They're going to bloody do it. They actually come into this and in 6th spot, 72 points on the board, picking up a further 10 points, and of course maintaining their playoff dreams. Of course, a point clear of the likes of Oxford, a couple of points clear of Sunderland, as of course the season will bubble to an end. Next, of course, our 5th spot, we have Sheffield Wednesday. They're going to join them on 82 points as well. They currently find themselves on 72 points, and again got a game in hand on the likes of Plymouth and Co. 10 points in the bag, and of course they'll be in the playoffs to compete with the likes of Wycombe, and joining them will be the Green Army. Of course, currently find themselves in 4th spot, 77 points on the board. Of course, one defeat past 6. Again, this is a manager. Maybe Schumacher is the manager that I could also look at to take over the reins for Mowbray. Of course, we'll see about that as well. Again, it all depends on what goes on in the playoffs, with of course Plymouth in there, Sheffield Wednesday in there, Wycombe in there, and also joining them will be MK Dons. Liam Manning's done a fantastic job with them, taking over the reins from Martin. Of course, Russell Martin went to Swansea, and of course is doing his crazy football over there and getting results at the back end of the campaign. So maybe Liam Manning also could be an avenue for a replacement for a Championship club if they're looking for a lower league manager. 92 points, unfortunately not good enough. Of course, they're coming into this right now. They're actually in 2nd spot with 82 points, further 10 points on the board for MK Dons, but again, not good enough at this stage. For me, I see Rotherham United, I think, getting promoted in 2nd spot with 95 points on the board. Again, 3 points clear of MK Dons, which means we'll have a right old tight race to the very end. So again, further 15 points over the last 7 games. Of course, Rotherham do have a couple of games in hand on the likes of MK Dons. They need to win those. They do come into this just one win in the last 5 games, though. Pretty wobbly form, so they do need to turn that around fast. But again, I do see them getting back to the Championship. They are, of course, the right old definition of a yo-yo club. So Rotherham will go up, and joining them will be, of course, Wigan Athletic. 98 points on the board for them as well. They'll go up as champions, 3 points clear over Rotherham. They do come into this on 83 points. They do have also a couple of games in hand on MK Dons, and they do come into this with a very, very good form. I don't even know when the last time they lost in the league. Anyway, winning 4 of the last 6 as of recording. 6 defeats all season, 83 points on the board. They'll get a further 15 over the course of the last 7 games. A couple of drop points as well, but enough to get over the line. That's, of course, my take on it. So, Wigan, Rotherham will be playing Championship football for the first of all, again, with Milton Keynes Dons, Plymouth, of course, Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe Wanderers duking out for their playoffs. And, of course, down the foot of the table, Fleetwood, Doncaster, Wimbledon and Crewe going down to League 2. That's my take. Be sure to get your own take down below. And, of course, as you This is the extended league then, shall we? Of course, shows you the defeat, shows the goal difference, and of course the goals scored and all that kind of stuff. So take it all in, suck it up, take a selfie, of course. And are you happy with that? Do you think that will be the way it is? Or do you have your own agendas? Let me know down below. Get your picks in, show me what you're all about. And of course, we'll see who's right at the end of it. Of course, we'll be looking forward to the new season already. 2022, 2023 is around the corner. Of course, we'll do our brand new, squeaky clean, very, very early, crazy early ones as soon as we know the results of the playoff games, of course, in the back end of May. Until then, guys, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. It does wonders for the old algorithm. I know you hear that all the time elsewhere, but it does. It gives you more of this content, more faces like me, and of course, stuff like that. So make sure you smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, hit the little bell. But until then, boys, we're done right now.